Alright guys, in today's edit, I'm going to show you how I took this raw image and turned it into this using Lightroom and Photoshop. I started off in Lightroom with some basic global adjustments. Lately I've been using the auto button just to get a decent base to work from. It saves me a lot of time. And after that, I tweaked the tone curve, I crushed the highlights and faded the blacks a bit just to give it a more subtle film vibe. Then I jumped over to the color mixer. I wanted the trees to pop but not overpower the scene, just enough warmth to guide your eye toward the waterfall. After that, I adjusted the calibration and added a bit of color grading to tie everything together. Then I used the transform panel to fix the distortion in the trees since it was such a wide shot and they were leaning a bit more than I liked. And for this one, I decided to go with the 4:5 crop ratio. After the global edits, I added a few local masks just to kind of darken the edges of the frame to help pull your eye inward. And then I used 2 radial masks to gently brighten the space in between those trees just so it didn't get too dark. From there, I moved over to Photoshop for my finishing touches. First up, I used the Nick collection just to give the image some subtle enhancements, just small stuff that I think saves time compared to doing all of this manually in Photoshop. Then I used TK actions to create luminosity masks. These always help me target very specific parts of the image quickly and cleanly. Most of my edits are pretty subtle, so in the time-lapse you may not see every little change, but I'm constantly building things up slowly. I typically add an Orton effect to all of my images at a low opacity, just to give the image a soft glow. But I mask it with the midtones using a midtones 2 mask so the glow doesn't get too muddy in the highlights or shadows. Once I was happy with the overall feel, I toned down the vibrance just a touch to bring it back into balance. And lastly, I just did some quick distortion edits to the frame to center up the waterfall and crop off some of the top of the frame. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the edit, and as always, thanks for watching.